Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Mind with Sid and Sam. Last time, we went deep into borderline personality disorder, and today, we're talking about something that often hides in plain sight: avoidant and anxious personality patterns. Sid, what's the story behind this one?
So today's topic is personal for a lot of people, even if they don't realize it. Avoidant Personality Disorder, or AvPD, is part of what psychologists call cluster C personality disorders, the anxious and fearful group. Now, before we dive in, quick disclaimer: we're not professionals, not therapists. We learn from research, books, psychology experts, and life itself. This podcast is just us sharing our understanding and reflections.
Yeah, good point. So, Sid, what exactly is avoidant personality disorder? How is it different from just being shy?
That's the big misconception. Shyness and avoidant personality might look similar, but they come from different emotional cores. A shy person might hesitate at first, but can still form relationships once they feel comfortable. Someone with avoidant personality disorder, though, truly believes deep down that they're not good enough, not worthy of love, belonging, or acceptance. It's not just fear of judgment. It's an entire identity shaped around feeling inadequate.
So it's like they avoid people not because they don't care, but because they care too much?
Exactly. It's like standing outside a party, wanting so badly to go in, but the voice in your head says, "They'll think you're boring," or "You'll say something stupid." So you stay outside. Then you feel lonely and hate yourself for not going in. That loop becomes life. And when this becomes a consistent pattern, avoiding social, romantic, or even work opportunities just to avoid rejection or criticism, that's when we're in AvPD territory.
That sounds painful. Are there specific signs or traits that define avoidant personality disorder?
Yeah, according to DSM-5, there are a few key patterns. Let me break them down simply. Extreme sensitivity to rejection or criticism. Even mild feedback feels like a deep wound. Avoiding social or work activities that involve people unless you're absolutely sure you'll be liked. Low self-esteem. You see yourself as socially inept, inferior, or unattractive. Isolation by choice, but it's not peace. It's self-protection. Reluctance to try new things because of fear of embarrassment. Basically, the world becomes a minefield of possible humiliation.
That's heavy. Can you give an example of how that plays out in everyday life?
Sure. Imagine a guy, let's call him Rohit. He's in an office job, smart, capable, but painfully quiet. His team goes out for lunch, and every time they invite him, he says, "Maybe next time." He goes home and scrolls through their photos, feels left out, sad, but still avoids joining next time, because the fear of being judged is stronger than the desire to belong. That's the avoidant loop. Even in relationships, they might deeply love someone but hold back affection because closeness feels risky. Vulnerability equals danger.
That reminds me of anxious attachment styles, too. How are FPD and anxious personalities connected?
Great point. They often overlap. Anxious personality traits come from deep fear of abandonment, constantly seeking reassurance, needing validation, overthinking every silence. Avoidant people fear rejection, so they pull away. Anxious people fear abandonment, so they cling closer. And when they date each other, oh boy, it's a storm. One says, "You don't care about me." The other says, "You're suffocating me." Both are scared, but in opposite directions.
That's such a real dynamic. So what causes avoidant or anxious personalities to form in the first place?
Usually, it starts in childhood. For avoidant types, maybe they had overly critical parents or environments where mistakes were mocked. Love felt conditional, like, "You're good only when you're perfect." So the child learns it's safer not to try than to fail, and that mindset grows into adulthood. Anxious types might have had inconsistent caregiving love that came and went. So they learn, I have to hold on tightly or I'll lose it. Both are just different survival strategies.
And how can someone start healing from this? Because it sounds like it's not an easy switch.
No, it's definitely not a quick fix. Healing is a slow rebuild, like reprogramming the way you see yourself. A few key steps, though. Therapy, especially CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, and schema therapy helps challenge negative self-beliefs. Exposure, gradual, gentle exposure to social situations. Small wins matter. Inner work journaling, affirmations, and self-compassion. Healthy relationships surrounding yourself with safe people who don't mock vulnerability. Healing basically means realizing you're not broken. You were just protecting yourself too hard for too long.
That's powerful. So, what would you say to someone who hears this and realizes they might have avoidant or anxious traits?
I'd say don't label yourself too harshly. Traits don't define your destiny. You can have avoidant patterns without being a disorder. Start by noticing the why behind your avoidance or anxiety. Ask, what am I afraid will happen if I let people in? That question alone opens doors. And remember, connection is a muscle. You rebuild it one small act of courage at a time.
That's a beautiful way to end this, Sid. Thanks for sharing so deeply.
Thanks, man. And to everyone listening, take care of your mental space. It's okay to be guarded. It's just not okay to forget that you deserve warmth, too.